In this video, we're going to talk about exterior rendering in VRAY for Rhino. And in the previous video, we saw how we can create really easy and fast a render for an object or a product of industrial design or something like that. So in this video, we're going to see some other settings, some other tools, some other effects that we can use when we want to create an exterior rendering. So in this case, we're going to use an architecture here. And you can see I have kind of a section here, and this is thanks to the Clipper object. So with the Clipper object, we can create this kind of technical drawing looking renderings, but well, we see what we can use if we want to do some more technical renderings, like technical drawings, or more realistic renderings. We will see what's the difference and also what are the basic parameters for global illumination and ambient occlusion. So we will go through here in the asset editor some of the most important parameters that we didn't talk about yet. So we're gonna cover a little bit more of this panel here, and we're gonna integrate also in following videos. So let's get started here. I want to start always from the beginning so that you can see all the steps. Now this is the render finished, but it's progressive rendering with low quality. Now this is just to show you what we're gonna see, but of course you can then increase the quality when you are ready to do your final rendering. So I'm going to start a new scene here and just place an infinite plane right away. And also we will add grass to that plane later on. And then I need some architecture. You can get it from any source. You can go on the web, you can go in the 3D warehouse of SketchUp. For example, in my case, I do have already a SketchUp file that I can use, and I'm gonna run a first render here to see how it's looking. Okay, so you can see I have some materials from SketchUp, but always try to convert those. So if you go in the VRAY asset editor, you probably won't see any material. So here it's asking me to create one, a generic. Well, let's create one that we will use later. I'm going to call this red, and I'm going to make it red, of course. And now let's start by changing all the materials. So let's go to VRAY tools and convert Rhino materials. This is gonna convert all the objects that I'm going to select. So I can select here all the objects in this model and then press enter, and then I need to wait for the conversion to be done. So if you go now in the materials, you should see, there you go, a lot of materials appearing here. Now this is a lot of material because it's gonna convert like each single surface that it finds here. But this is gonna be good because we're gonna have all VRAY materials. Now the other thing I want to fix is if I want to do an exterior rendering, well, I don't want to use that studio setup that the Rhino has by default. So if I go to the environment tab, you can see here that I have this one here, which I don't really like. So I'm gonna change this and use a Rhino document sun and also add a DOM, or you can also use light generator as we used to do in the first videos of this series of videos. And I'm gonna use in the DOM light, I'm gonna use a sky. So this is gonna be a really simple setup for my exterior. Now all we need to do is check the intensity of these lights. So let's run a render and let's fix the lighting. There you go, it's too bright. Now you can also run an interactive rendering, so you can see the changing going on. I think that it's gonna be good if I just decrease the intensity of the sun. Okay, so just play around here with parameters and find out the correct balance. We will also see some other tools to correct the luminosity or the exposure, but right now let's skip this. Okay, now the first thing I want to show you is right here, and it's the material override. Now material override is gonna override the whole scene with a simple material, and this is gonna look like kind of a architectural model, like if you do that with plastic, basically. Now this is a standard material, but it's gonna be really helpful if you want to create technical drawings, but also if you want to study the effect of the global illumination, the ambient occlusion, and also other effects that you can get here with the render settings. Now you can also apply here a material. So for example, if I go here and look for a wood, or you can also get it from the library there. So I can apply, for example, this wood material, and again, it's gonna give me that kind of architectural model look that it's really simple. Okay, and now let's change the material again, and I want to go back to the white, simple white. Okay, and let's talk about global illumination and ambient occlusion. Now you can see this is really flat, and this is partially because of the lighting that I'm using. I'm not using HDRIs, I'm just using the simple sun and sky system, but also because I don't have many visible details. So ambient occlusion can help us in this situation. Now you can see that global illumination works with direct light, and it's gonna hit the surface and then it's gonna bounce on the scene, and also it's gonna bounce to your eye, so you are like shooting photons from the camera to the scene that is gonna come back with the information of the model. That's approximately how everything goes. And then this is the part concerning the global illumination. So if you go here in global illumination, now let's turn on the advanced parameters. So you can switch from basic to advanced, but we're gonna go into the advanced right now. And we are not using interactive. We already explained how interactive works. We're gonna use progressive and bucket. Now here you can see the primary and secondary rays, so in direct and indirect, and here you have ambient occlusion. Now let's turn these on right away and run a quick rendering to see the difference between the first one and this one here. Now we should see appearing all these little parts here, that, and also we can see the doors here and a lot of other details that before were